Welcome back to Every Other Carl. I'm Carl, and today I'm going to show you how to install this attic ladder and give yourself a whole bunch extra space. This is the ladder I'm using. It's a W2510 Spacemaster folding wood ladder. Werner, the company I'm using, is one of the biggest brands for this type of ladder, but there are several options, and I'll leave some links to some of them in the description. I actually got this one on Facebook Marketplace for $100. My house never had an attic. It does, however, have a pitched roof, and I know there is about 3 feet of space above my ceiling, and I want to make some use of it. I started by deciding where I wanted to have my ladder. At this point, there are a few considerations to make. One, I chose a location that would have unobstructed room for my ladder to fold down to the floor and still allow access to the tallest point of my attic, which is at the middle. Two, I wanted to install my ladder into the ceiling parallel with the ceiling joists. It is possible to install perpendicular to the joists, but it makes the process harder in my opinion. 3, I needed to determine how my roof was constructed. The ladder comes with instructions that indicate what types of roof framing you need to be careful with. You don't want to accidentally weaken your roof by cutting into a truss the wrong way. Fortunately, my roof could accommodate a ladder. With these considerations taken care of, I used my stud finder to help me mark out the general location of my ladder. You want one side of the ladder frame to run just up against a ceiling joist, if possible. That way, you'll only need to cut and reframe one joist. With the general location marked out, I used a drywall saw to cut a small hole that was large enough for me to fit my head through and decide on more exact measurements. Alright, so I figured out where I wanted my ladder to be, keeping it away from the ceiling fan, and I wanted it to be hinged right near the highest point of what I know to be the roof line, which is right here in the middle of the house. Kind of goes straight down the middle of the house there. And then I mapped out kind of an undersized hole just on the ceiling here, and I cut a small hole just to explore, just to be able to get my head up in there and see where the rafters are and see how much space I have, see if I'm in the right place. Cut that hole out, now I'm going to check it out. Plenty of space up here. We have these supports here, so I'm going to have to steer clear of them, but there's plenty of space on either side of them. I'll just make sure the hole doesn't come anywhere close to the bottom of these supports. Alright, so now that I have this exploratory hole, I can see exactly where the joists are, and I can see where my supports are that go up to the roof, and I can measure out my actual dimensions for my rough opening. For this model, this is the 5210, I need a 25-inch by 54-inch opening, and in order to steer clear of those supports, I know that my 54 inches is going to start here and come all the way back to this mark here. Now, what I want to do is cut this hole a little bit wider so I get right up against this joist. That's going to be my line on the left side, and then I can cut 25 inches over, and I can create my rough opening. I liked using this hand drywall saw because I knew exactly when I was close to the joists, and I knew that I wouldn't cut through any of them by accident. Alright, I found this joist, so I cut straight along that one, and now I'm measuring exactly 25 inches out from there and 54 inches back, using my square to make a nice perfect rectangle up here. And I'll cut that rough opening out. I'm not cutting the middle joist just yet. I'm going to remove all the ceiling material, and I'm going to support that joist before I cut it. Alright, so the full size of the rough opening has been cut here. Now I just got to prep my joists, which are going to become the joists supporting the floor of the attic here. So a couple things I got to do. I'm going to be cutting out this joist, so I need to support what's going to be left of it on that side. It already has this cross bracing that goes up to the ceiling, the roof rafters here. This one is a little bit too far forward, so I'm going to replace it, and I'm going to put a piece a little bit behind here going up to the rafters. And then I'm going to put a cross brace, so this piece here is going to cross between this rafter all the way over to this one, and it's going to be screwed into this piece just to add a little bit more support to that piece of the joist, which is going to be hanging there once I cut it out of here. So it's going to be supported by both this and also this cross brace. Same thing on this side. I'm going to put a brace that goes from this rafter over to that one, and then this piece is going to be supported in the middle, so it's not just hanging and the ceiling might collapse there. So I'm just going to take this piece of OSB and use that to support this middle joist, just with some screws for now, 2 screws in each. All right, I moved those 3 vertical braces back a little bit. I put that cross piece in, and I put one over here. Now I'm ready to cut this middle joist. All right, now it's time to cut out this middle joist here. I'm going to cut it back from the drywall 3 inches, which is the width of 2 2x4s, because the header board here is going to be made of 2 2x4s. Same thing on this side, 3 inches back from the edge of the drywall. All right, there we go. Cut it back 3 inches from the edge of the drywall. Now I'm just going to put a new header in here. And for that, I'm going to use 2 2x4s stacked next to each other. And I have double-sized hangers. They're going to hold those in there and create that nice strong header. These are the hangers I'm going to use. You can put 2 2x4s in there and hold the header nice and strong. All right, so I cut my header pieces. This side is 30 1/8. The other side was 30 3/8. So you got to make sure that you measure each side. Don't just cut 4 uniform pieces. I have my brackets in place, but I didn't nail them yet. Before I nail the ends of this piece of header, remember this is going to be a double piece, I'm going to nail 2 nails through here into this remaining piece of rafter, this joist, so that it can be supported by the header as well. All right, now that that's nailed in, I can put my second piece of 2x4 in place. And I'm going to make sure that it's squared off at this point. I'll double check it again later. That's nice and square. And I'll go ahead, I'm going to put a couple nails through the back sides into the header, and I'm also going to nail through this hanger. Alright, the brackets are in. These are in nice and strong. I'm going to do one more thing here since I have it. I have one of these strong ties. I'm just going to nail this joist into the header from up top and the side. I think that's going to help it from ever pulling that direction. All right, both headers are in place here. Now I'm going to do the stringer that's going to go along this side of the opening. This joist is going to act as one side. I can attach the frame to that, but then the other joist is a little bit too far over, so I need to put a stringer in here. It's also going to be 2x4, just one single 2x4, and I'm going to use a hanger on that header and one on that header, and just attach that 2x4 right there. All right, now the framing is complete. I'm going to put a few pieces of plywood. I actually have some leftover subfloor material from another project. I'm going to put those up there to create a floor for my attic. All right, put several pieces of leftover plywood down, and I got some great storage space up here now. Now it's time to install the actual ladder. All right, so before we put the actual ladder up in place, we want to put a couple of pieces of scrap wood just over the ends here to give us a temporary lip that we're going to rest the ladder on while we fasten it. So I'm just using a couple pieces of 1x4 that I'm going to screw into the frame. All right, we got those 2 pieces of support wood in place. Now I'm going to prep the ladder. So the ladder comes with this string, which is what you're going to use to pull it down out of the ceiling. Just going to go ahead and put that through this hole, and I'm going to do that before I put it in the ceiling just to make it a little easier on myself. It's very helpful to have a second set of hands for this part of the process. These doors can weigh 50 or more pounds, and holding them above your head can be difficult. Well, another thing to note is that these temporary support boards need to be precisely placed so that they will hold the frame of the ladder in place but allow the door to open. For me, that meant that they needed to be 52.5 inches apart. The direction sheet should tell you how far apart they need to be. 52.5 inches meant that the door actually cleared perfectly between these 2 scrap pieces of support board. All right, now that the door's in place, I was able to open it very gently. I'm going to start shimming around the edges of this frame and then nail it in permanently. So for shimming, I'm just going to keep making sure that this whole frame is square. I'm going to use my square, but I'm also going to measure diagonally and make sure that those measurements are within 1/8 of an inch of each other. That'll mean that the frame is square. The directions say to actually pre-drill all the nail holes. So I'm going to do 2 nails in this blocking in the back, one in the center here, one that goes through that metal stud, and then 2 at the front. Same thing on this side. So I'm pre-drilling with an 1/8 inch drill bit, and then I'm going to nail it in with 16D nails. I'm just using these 3.5 inch 16D nails. You want your shims to hold the frame in place tight and square, but be careful not to warp the frame. So they leave one of these holes open in each of these metal brackets on either side, and 2 of the ones at the front. And they want you to put a nail right through there. So I'm going to pre-drill it with an 1/8 inch drill bit, and then hammer it in with a 16D nail. I'm not drilling into the stud itself, behind there, just through the frame. I've already set the shims up right behind these holes, so it's not going to warp the frame when I nail it. Alright, the whole thing is nailed in. I'm going to remove these pieces of scrap wood here. But for now, I wanted to show you what it takes to cut the ladder to the proper measurement for your floor. I actually have a bit of an unfortunate situation with my ladder. Because of the height of my walls, they're not very tall. So my ladder is just not long enough to come down on this second section of ladder, which would have been, if I had cut it right here, that would have been nice and flush with the floor. And if my ceilings were a bit taller, I could have used this third section of ladder and cut it somewhere maybe here. But I will show you how I would have measured it if my ceilings were a little bit taller. So the way that you would measure it is you unfold it by section. So this is the first section, you unfold that as much as possible. Normally, if your ceilings were tall enough, you would unfold the second section all the way flush, something like that, until the hinges are closed tightly, and then you would measure from there. That's for normal ceiling height. My ceilings are a little low, so let's just imagine that this first section is the second section. You would take 2 measurements. You would go from the outside to the floor, something like that. I'm showing 52 inches. And then you would go from the inside to the floor, nice and straight. I'm showing 48 7/8 inches. So then you would mark those. So 48 7/8 here, and then 52 inches here. That's going to give you your flat angle. And you would just cut the bottom of the ladder right at that line, and it would fit flush against the floor. The directions happen to be right there on the side of the ladder. It's not that hard to do. You don't have to do math or anything. You just have to measure from the inside and the outside straight down to the floor. For me, I'm actually just going to leave it as it is. It fits flush with this third section folded up. I don't care what it looks like. It's going to be hidden up there 90% of the time anyway. So that's how it's going to stay for me. Alright, I'm going to get rid of these pieces of scrap support wood. And I'm going to see what it looks like all folded up. Not bad. Alright, now I'm going to put some trim around the edges to finish it off. Alright, the trim is on, just needs some paint, and it's done. Alright, that's going to do it for this install. I know there are a few funny things just based on the way my house is set up, how tall my ceilings are, and so forth. But I hope this helped you, and I hope you found it interesting at least. Until next time, I'm Werner Carl. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see ya.